Farmers care about their animals. It's one of the truest statements that can be made in today's agriculture. But sometimes we have to take a moment to make sure that our own house is in order. In an attempt to do that, livestock industries across this country are developing quality assurance and animal care standards for farmers to implement. From pork to poultry and beef to dairy, animal care standards are being implemented on farms across this country.
All of our producers, I think, 99% of them do a very good job of taking care of their animals. In the dairy industry, we started talking about a national dairy well-being initiative 18 months ago. And at that time we were talking about establishing an umbrella group and then our umbrella guidelines, and then each state or region or co-op would develop their own guidelines on animal care under that umbrella. But then we saw the seriousness of the reaction of what happened in California in a Hallmark case and decided through National Milk Producers Federation that what we needed was a more specific set of guidelines that would be adopted hopefully by every dairy producer in the country voluntarily. And that's the direction we're headed. National Milk Producers facilitated the purchase of a program out of Iowa that was called the 5-Star Program. It included a dairy animal well-being section to it. And we are now in the process at National Milk of refining those components. And it's going to be called, the acronym will be FARM, Farmers Assuring Responsible Management.
With the dairy industry well on their way to implementing a program that ensures proper animal care to dairy cattle across this country, we turn our attention to the pork industry to look at their program called Pork Quality Assurance Plus.
When I first came on, we were in the process of going through what we called the index, which was going out and doing research on farm to see what was actually going on relative to welfare issues. We looked at death loss, we looked at space allowance, we looked at how handling was being done. And then from that index, we developed the Swine Welfare Assurance Program, which was a program to go on the farm and help producers measure how they are doing relative to animal care. And the importance of that was that it drew attention to the fact that it is important. I think out of all of this discussion, I think we found that stockmanship is the key factor, and that as we've grown away from the farm a little bit more, people don't have the education that they had growing up on the farm. So we have a lot of employees now that don't have quite the same understanding that those of us that grew up on the farm had. And so the SWAT program focuses on handling and management, but it also has some training part of it, and training in stockmanship, and I think that's terribly important. As a result of a meeting in Chicago in 2006 or 2007, where the pork industry met with some retailers, chain restaurant people, they expressed the concern that they needed some kind of assurance that animal welfare, a good job was being done on the farm. And as a result of those discussions, because they understood the PQA program and producers did, and we had the SWAT program in place, more or less we melded the SWAT program into the PQA program, and now it's called PQA Plus. So the outcome of that discussion was there is a animal handling and welfare component now in PQA called PQA Plus.